Hello and welcome back to Technical Tales. Well, I've been thinking about this series and I've realised that I'm not making much progress. I've been in this new world now for quite a while and I've not gotten as much done as I would have liked by now. Now, this is because I've gotten into the habit of doing everything on camera. I'm like collecting basic, whenever I need a new machine, I'm showing you me getting the ingredients and crafting it and everything else, and then thinking about every single little detail of setting everything up. And then in general what I end up with isn't what I end up with anyway, because I'm talking about it as I'm laying it out and so on. I'm not thinking it through that thoroughly. For example, the layout of where the engines were. I mean, when I started off, I had them here. And then I moved them to here a bit, and then I had to rearrange them all anyway. So, the upshot of this is that I'm hoping I can make a little more progress if I make this more of I talk about my planning, and then I show you what I've done. It's just like a slightly different style of play. It means I get to do more stuff off camera, so we get a lot more progress to the world. There should be more content for you guys to see and watch. And things should just zip along a bit more. So, a quick update on what I have been doing off camera. I finally got my redstone energy conduits. So basically, I've replaced the gold conductive pipe with this stuff. Now, this stuff has only one disadvantage that I know of, and that is that you lose 5% of the power. I don't think it matters how far it goes, but you just lose a flat 5%. The major advantage is they don't blow up. Now, I had my gold conductive pipes. Well, I had my wooden pipes, the wooden conductive pipes that was extracting stuff from the engines, blow up on me, because whenever this thing, the magma crucible, ran out of netherrack, it stopped drawing power from the system. And 5 biogas engines make far too much power just for the few machines I'd be running, just for the grinder and the cooker. And so they blow up. So I've switched to this stuff, which shouldn't blow up. I've got plenty of lava. I've only got 2 geothermal generators here at the moment, but I can expand as many of these as I want along here. I can even extend this lava liquiduct out to there. I could put them on top of each other and just extend up a bit. Whatever. So I'm always going to have plenty of EU coming out of this thing. Getting extra netherrack isn't a problem. I've got to work on a system of keeping this full of netherrack, which gets me to my storage. So I've opened up this sort of double-sized room here. I ran out of basalt brick for the walls, but I'll get it cleaned up later. So this is going to be my storage area. Now, I'm going to go with a brand new mod that's only just been added to Direwolf 20. Applied Energistics. This is a very cool, very powerful, but also very expensive mod. But I think it'll be a lot of fun to work with. Basically, what it lets you do is store items as data in a network. Yeah. So it's like it auto-sorts. It's got wonderful blocks for interfacing with your machines and so on. It's brilliant. The one problem with it is it requires quartz crystals. Why is that a problem, I may hear you ask? You've got loads of quartz crystals. Yeah, look at them all there. The only problem is they're the wrong type of quartz crystals. See, these are the quartz crystals I've got. These are the quartz crystals I need. These ones, if I press U on it... Oh, no. If I press U on it, then I get all the items from Applied Energistics as part of the recipes. If, however, I do a U on these ones, I get last time I did that I didn't get anything. Well, now I'm getting something, but all I'm getting is liquid detectors from Zycraft. So these are Zycraft quartz crystals, and those ones are applied energistics quartz crystals, and they're separate. Now, a later iteration of the mod, they might combine these, just in the same way there's different types of tin and different types of copper, but they're interchangeable in the different mods and so on. But for the moment it isn't. So, this type of quartz doesn't exist in this world. Oh, you may notice I no longer have a front door. That's because I don't need one. I have a portable hole. How's that for security? I mean, you look at this from the outside, you don't even know my base is there. So all I've got to do is, if I cover that thing with warded glass, and this thing's hidden, then I'm pretty safe. This thing is awesome. It'll go through any wall. If you notice, the torches just stay floating there. Oh, it's amazing. It uses a little bit of viz. It's a magic item that I made. What was I saying? Yes. So there is no quartz crystal here. So I need a new world. I could go exploring far enough in this world in order to reach chunks that haven't been generated yet, and then I would get the type of quartz I need. But I think it's going to be a lot easier and better off to use Mystcraft to make myself a nice brand new stable age, and then I can use it for mining. Incidentally, the miner was successful. This is my miner kit. I'm carrying around the diamond drill. I discovered that the best way to power it was with 2 coal-burning generators. You want to stick a pump next to it, because that way, if it comes across any liquids, it can suck them out into empty cells. And this was nice and portable, so I could actually take it out further away, drop it down, grab a load of stuff, because I've strip mined all under here, so I wasn't really getting any diamonds and stuff. But the upshot is that I'm doing okay for metals. I'm not doing brilliantly for diamonds. I've got 13, which, you know, could do with a bit more than that. So, we're going to do 2 things today. One, I've just got these things outputting to a bat box. I think I need a little more EU storage. These things, by the way, output to these redstone energy cells. These are all made by cooking redstone in a magma crucible and then using a liquid transposer to fill the pipes. So that's liquid redstone in there. A little expensive, but they are worth it. So yeah, so this thing holds, what's that, 600,000 MJs, Minecraft joules of power, and there's another one there as well. So I've got a bit of a buffer on the MJ, which is good. So I also want a buffer on my EU, or my electricity. So I don't want these things outputting just to a bat box. I want them to output to one of the more powerful storage devices. So, unfortunately, I can't quite remember what they are. And there's an MFS. There's an MFSU, which takes an MFE and Lapotron crystals. I'm going to quickly look up, because there's 2 different tiers of these things, and I want to find out which one's which and what they cost and so on. Okay, I think what I want is an MFE. What does that stand for? Multifunctional Electric Storage. So yeah, so an MFE rather than an MFS. MFS is the next level up, but I think it's good enough to start with an MFE. So I need 4 energy crystals and 4 gold pipes and so on. So my plan is that these things will output to an MFE, then we'll go through a low voltage transformer, and then we'll be into the normal bat box pipes. I also want to replace this stuff with glass fiber. Now I've got 13 diamonds, and if I make my glass fiber cables with electrum rather than what it normally is, I get 8 cable per diamond. So I should be able to do it. and diamond will take up to 512 volts, and the MFE will only output 128. Later on, I might make one of those MFS units, sort of in between. So I'm going to leave space for that. So I just want to get this electric network set up and ready for the applied energistics machines. Which, okay, you can run those either from MJs or from electricity, but it strikes me that seeing as I can have a nice big barrel of lava ready and my power is going to come from that lava, it's going to be easier to run the applied energistics material using EU than it is the engines. I can have a bigger buffer of lava stored than I can redstone energy cells, which is the only way I can buffer this stuff. So I'll be back once I've got this basic electric stuff set up, and then we can start messing around with Mystcraft. And I'm done. So I've got glass fiber cable going to an MFE here that's charging up. As you can see, we're draining away our lava currently, but there's still a lot of it in there. So the MFE holds something like 600,000 EU. From there, it goes down under the ground, then up through an LV transformer into a bat box here, and then that bat box passes its power along to this bat box here, which lets me distribute the 32 volt low voltage stuff for any machines I may need here. The applied energistics network will run direct off the 128 EUs per tick this thing's outputting. I did have to use. It turned out that the Electrum recipe for glass fiber cables not in this version of the game. It was on the wiki, but it's not here. So I had to use a few more diamonds than I wanted to, but I've still got 5, so that's okay. Let's quickly store everything away. There was also a recipe on the wiki for using rubies to make the Lapatrons. If I go MF, do I mean Lapatrons? I mean energy crystals, but again, not available here. So it must be one of the optional recipes and so on that's not actually active in my version. But that means that power-wise, I'm quite well set up. That thing stopped draining lava, which means everything is now fully charged. So we've got quite a bit of power stored up, ready to keep anything running. Because the downside of applied energistics is the power it takes. The network which stores the items as data and energy requires a constant supply of power. Now, if you run out of power, you don't lose your items or anything like that, but you can't access them without power. And it is a constant drain on the system. So that's why I want to be able to have plenty of lava and maybe more of these if I start draining power faster than this thing is recharging. So, Mystcraft. I'm trying to open my cooked pork chop as if it's a canvas bag. I made myself an electric wrench. I got sick of making the other wrenches and having them break and stuff like that on me. Is it nighttime out there? No, it isn't. Alright. So I've got my Mystcraft stuff here. Now, there's been an update to Mystcraft since last I used it. Basically, you've got notebooks. There's like multiple tabs here, which is good. But also, you can't just make age books the way you could before. Before, you could just I think you just needed a quill and a book, and that was it. That made an age book. Now you need a device called a bookbinder. Is it called a bookbinder? Yes, there it is, bookbinder. So that's some iron and some wood. So let's throw one of those together. And the recipe for the actual pages, for the actual age books, is different. It's like I'm going to need some ink and some feathers. And also, the way you discover symbols for the creation of the ages has changed. It used to be that you would just go to a random age and you'd learn all the symbols from that age. That isn't how it is anymore. You have to find the symbols in world. Now, there are two ways you can do that. a village generated under this new version of Mystcraft will have villagers in it who are librarians, and they know Mystcraft symbols, and you can trade for them. The other thing you can do is you can find old abandoned libraries in worlds that again generated under the new version of Mystcraft. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make myself a Myst Age, and I'm going to be exploring it, looking for the symbols I need, because I need a stable age so I can start mining for those crystals that I need. Right, so I'm going to make myself this bookbinder. Do I have a bit of I know I've got wood in there. That's tons of wood. Don't think I have any iron. Looking. Nope, no iron there. So, quick trip back to the workshop. I'll make myself the bookbinder and get together the ingredients I need to start making age books. Okay, so I've got myself a bookbinder. I've got myself a supply of leather. I've got myself a supply of books and ink. Now, I've discovered that you can. I thought you couldn't rename linking books, but that's because I didn't understand how the new writing desk works. Essentially, you need to give it ink vials. Now, for some reason, my texture pack has a bit of a glitch, and ink vials are showing up as a green square. Basically, you need a water bottle and either 2 ink sacks or something there called an ebony drop, by the look of it. Okay, that's just something to do with bees. So you put the ink vials here in the writing desk, and then you get the glass bottles back, which is good. And then you can rename any book by dropping it in here. So I've made myself a supply of linking books, basically back to my nether nexus. So I just want to rename them to Overworld. And as I do this, it will use a little bit of ink each time. Now, in general, the ink is used to actually copy your notebooks and stuff like that. You know, in order to copy symbols into age books, etc. Alright, so that's got me a supply of linking books that I can use to safely get back. I'm getting this weird thing where basically typing down there is searching up here as well as in there. I don't like that. It's it makes this go all dark for some reason. There might be something in here, but oh well. I'll ignore that for now. Alright, so I really wanted to store more of those than just those. I don't need these covers in there, do I? There we go. I'll throw these in here temporarily. Alright, now I made myself my wand of lightning was running out, so I've made myself a wand of fire. So that's what I'll use to defend myself in this in these realms as I go into them. Well, that was a spare book going to my mine. Oh well, doesn't matter. Right. So you always want a linking book with you. So how does the bookbinder work? Well, it needs leather and paper. Now, if you put in just a blank piece of paper, I just right-hand clicked there. This will give me a descriptive book to a random age, and it will just be a random age. If you know the symbols, then you can use the writing desk to copy them from your symbol notebook into another notebook, and then you can have whatever symbols you want to create whatever age you want, and then those are what you would drop in here, and that would be how you would make your age. So that's used a piece of leather and one of the papers, and I've got a random descriptive book. Oh, looks like the sun is going down. I really need to get around to putting the glass at the top. I'm going to use this glass viewer stuff because it's more see-through. I was going to use warded glass, but it's just too expensive to make. It's too much of a hassle and not really worth it. So, what was I doing? Yes, I wanted to make myself something to store this book temporarily. I figured I'd make myself a lectern, wood and a stick. See, it's doing that again. I find that very aggravating. Alright, I need a stick. There's wood. it's a bit like a staircase, but then you do that. And that gets me 2 lectins. I just want the 1. I'm going to place there. Okay, so this is going to be a random age, which means it's going to be nasty. I've got to find an age which will be stable enough that I can explore to find the symbols I need. Because unfortunately, I don't think any of the villages near here are going to have that Myst librarian in, because all this was generated before the latest update to the Myst book. Right, that's my linking book back home, so I'll keep that in hand so in an emergency I can grab it. A bit of cobble if need be. Let's put the Thermonomicon away there. Actually, something called is it called an ender pouch? Ender pouch. Blaze powder, leather, ender pearl and wool. I think I want to store all my stuff in an ender pouch. The advantages of ender pouches is they're like ender chests in that they will access an inventory, and it's the same inventory across all the pouches, across all the chests. This way, if I die and like fall in lava and lose everything, I won't lose the contents of this ender pouch. You know, and because, you know, I mean, I've got a lot of important stuff in here. So, I need ender eyes. Which I can make using my medium stone and 4 iron. Okay, it took me a little while to get the blaze rods and blaze powder I needed. I had to actually go to the nether, to the little spawner thing in there, and whack away with my new Sword of the Zephyr, which is a magical sword, which has 2 advantages. 1, when you swing it, it hits all enemies near you, and 2, if you right-hand click, you generate a whirlwind, which can actually deflect arrows and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. At the blaze spawner I managed to gain some extra levels, so I'm going to make sure that I enchant that. But first of all, we wanted to make this ender pouch. It turns out that you have to have an ender chest in order to link the ender pouch to. So that's what I'm doing here. Ender pearl. Right, so these are slightly different to ender chests in the normal game in that they have a color code. That's because this is if you're on a multiplayer server in a vanilla game, then everyone's ender chest is unique to them. You know, if I open the same ender chest as you, we see different things. I'm pretty certain that in this version it's based on the color code. So if another player uses the same color code as me, then that's going to be a problem. Basically, our ender chests and that are going to start interfering with each other. So we're coming up with a simple color code, which is simply the first color on it. My first color is always going to be green. So I believe I can just right-hand click with this die, and that sets that color code there. It has actually used up the cactus green. I was hoping it wouldn't do that. Because I wanted, seeing as this is my equipment ender chest, I wanted it to be green, green, green all the way. I think I can use the minium stone to convert that stuff. So if I turn that into rose yellow and then I grab my minium stone. Okay, that gives me light blue. I think if I keep doing this, I'll end up with cactus green. Oh, that's how I can get the ink sacs I need. That's good to know. There we go, cactus green. Oops. There we go. So that's an all green ender chest. Now if I make the ender pouch, if I remember how, that was blaze spawner, ender pearl, wool. There was other stuff in there as well, wasn't there? Leather, and the wool's at the bottom. Oh, guess where all the leather is. There we go. I'd put my entire supply of leather in the bookbinder. So, leather, blaze powder, ender pearl in the middle. Okay, ender pouch. And the way you set the color code on an ender pouch is, I think you shift right click there. So if you look on the little picture, and in my hand it's white, white, white. Now it's green, green, green. So if I open the ender pouch, that opens the ender chest at the same time. So I'm going to transfer all my important equipment into there, and that'll keep it safe from me dying.